Good afternoon. I'm Dennis O'Neill, and once again we are visiting with one of Westborough's distinguished citizens,
Stop it.
the charming and lovely Helen Barton. Now, were you born in Westborough, Helen?
Yes, I was.
And is it all right if we
9
ask
West Street.
what year?
1923.
1923. So she's just a spring chick.
Oh, yeah, right.
At this point. 9 West Street.
9 West. Right.
So, because I lived next door at 7 West Street
That's
after I
right,
got married for a long time.
okay.
I didn't realize you had started
Oh,
out
yeah, I lived there all my life till I got married.
there. Yeah, excellent. So that's where your folks lived. You were
Yes,
born there.
yeah, I lived
Were you
there.
born in the house or at the hospital?
Yeah, at the hospital.
You were born in the hospital because I know that was on the cusp where
Oh,
some
yeah,
people had
yeah,
started to be
we
born
went to
at the hospital.
hospital.
So very professional.
Yes, right.
Got you a nice leg up.
Dr. Boyd.
So, Dr. Boyd. I haven't thought about Dr. Boyd
Oh,
in
yeah,
years.
he was very, very nice.
He must
very
have delivered
great
8 million
doctor.
babies.
Yep. He had a lovely
point.
wife, too.
Yeah.
She was very,
And
very
she was the nurse,
helpful.
wasn't she?
Yes, she was, yeah.
Yeah, so a family affair. Nice people. So let's talk about the early years. Back in Westborough, on West Street.
9 West.
What are your earliest memories of your childhood? Do you have any particular memories that jump out at you?
We'd go skating in the winter and sliding down Whitney Hill and Round Top and anywhere we could find a hill, the country club.
Mm-hmm.
We always went skating and sliding in the winter. And Lake Street was a pond, and then Ruggles Pond. We
What
went
did they,
to
the
both
Folly
of them.
Pond on Blake Street? Was it the Folly Pond?
Yeah,
Off of
down
Blake Street?
near
Yeah.
the big, near Main Street. Yeah.
Okay. And for those of you that may not know where Round Top is, that's a blast from the past.
Oh.
And that is the back end of the football field
That's
off
right.
of Ruggles
Goes
Street,
up
where
the
the
hill.
Vietnam Memorial is.
And O'Neill Drive is at the
It
top.
is at the top of it.
Yeah.
That's right. And because when we were kids, we used to sled down there
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
that's where
So
we
that-
went to
I
go
don't-
sliding.
I don't know that anybody has slid down that hill in a long time. I don't know if anybody knows. It's probably all pucker brush now. I
Yeah,
never really
right,
paid
right.
attention. So, how many were in your family, Helen?
Just my brother and myself.
Okay, the two of you.
Yes.
Now, you went to school.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school? Which buildings?
Eli Whitney.
Okay.
And Harvey was a first and second grade.
First and second
Fourth,
grade.
fifth, sixth. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth was at Harvey, and then junior high was at the high school.
Okay.
And so it was
That is
6
now the
years.
police
Yeah,
station.
that's right.
That,
So it was 6 years at the high school
Okay.
building.
Who was your favorite teacher?
Oh, I liked Miss Devons and Miss Gibbons and all of them.
Yeah.
The Gilmores, they were all very nice. I remember Miss Black was the first grade, and Miss
Oh, yes.
Cummings, and all the teachers were very good, very nice teachers, and very good to the kids.
Okay. And you were an exceptional student.
No.
Well, you can lie. Nobody's here to check the report card. So at that point. But you enjoyed school.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously from your memories, naming those teachers off quickly, that you had fond memories of the teachers.
Oh, yes,
so
they
school
were
was a
good
nice
teachers,
experience
very
for
good
you.
teachers,
Yeah.
very nice to the kids.
Mm-hmm. Not the meanies like today's teachers. We'll slide that in.
No, they were good teachers, very nice and friendly.
Mm-hmm. So you were a child during the Depression.
Yes, yeah.
Do you have any memories of the Depression?
Well,
Something
I
that
knew,
sticks out.
you know, things weren't good for a lot of people. They didn't have jobs and didn't have the money they needed. My father had a job, so he worked for the telephone company, and he was
Okay.
employed all the time, so we were all right. But we knew a lot
Yeah.
of people. We used to give our things when they wouldn't fit us anymore. We'd give them to all our friends that needed some help. Everybody gave things away.
Everybody helped their
Anything
neighbors.
that was worthwhile for somebody else to use.
Yeah. nice. But that is kind of a different feel to that small community where everybody
That's
knew
right.
everybody.
Everybody
and
knew everybody. I
pitched
knew
in.
all the streets, and I knew a lot of the people.
Mm-hmm. That,
Now I'm lucky if I know where the streets are.
well, most of them haven't gone.
No,
They're still out there.
they just keep adding more.
They keep adding more, and
Yeah.
I couldn't find half of those with a road map
Yeah,
probably
no,
at this
no.
point. Times have changed. All of the cow pastures now have big homes in them.
That's right.
So that,
Beautiful, beautiful
a
homes.
lot of cows gone under the bridge
I guess so.
at that point. Now, so when you were going to school, what was your favorite subject?
Oh, I liked English and literature and
You like to read?
yes, I love to read. We read a lot of good books and heard about a lot of good books and authors.
Mm-hmm.
I still like to read.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
It's certainly good. I
Can
see you
learn-
have a book right there about Lucy and Desi.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
so that
that's
you're in
right.
the middle of it.
Yeah.
And she was a funny,
A good-
funny gal.
Good couple, yeah. Very good.
Now, so at some point, you met your husband.
Yes.
Was he in school with you? Was he a
No,
local
he
boy?
went to Worcester. He was from Worcester.
He was imported talent.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Where did you meet him?
Through friends that knew friends that
Oh, okay.
introduced me to him.
They hooked you up?
Yeah, right. We started going together.
When was that? How old were you?
Oh, I was out of school.
After high school?
Yeah, I'd say maybe the first year out of school.
Okay.
Or even my senior year, I might have met him. I
Okay.
think maybe my senior year.
So that was the early 40s,
Yeah.
that would have been. And you fell in love immediately.
I liked him right away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we did.
And how long did you date before you married?
Oh, well, of course the war was on. He was in the service.
Okay.
So we waited till after the war was
After the
over,
war.
1945.
What branch of the service did he serve in?
Air Force.
He was in
yeah.
the Air Force?
Yeah.
Okay. Pilot?
No, a ground crew.
Ground crew. Okay. That, well, certainly the pilots needed somebody to take care of the plane.
That's right, that's
They
right.
didn't fix themselves. So after the war, he came home. Did he serve in Europe or in the Pacific?
Europe.
Europe.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when he came home, you got married.
Yes, 1945.
All right. A very good year.
December 29th at the end. Almost.
So, that 1945 was a very good year. I was born that year.
Oh,
So-
good. That's a good year.
So I think it was a spectacular year.
Okay, good for you.
I have to agree with you. I was what, 20 days old when,
Oh, boy.
when you got married. So then you started your own family,
Yes,
and you have
10 children.
10 children. See, this was back in the days before television, so they had a
Yeah.
lot of time on their hands.
That's
So
right. They had 7 boys and 3 girls.
7 boys and 3 girls.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And
They're
of course,
all very good to me.
that,
Very, very good.
Well, because you raised them right. And,
Well, I
and-
hope I did.
and
I
you
tried
did.
to.
I know
I don't
them,
know if I
and you
did.
did. And that instruction that you gave them as kids is coming back in terms of how they treat you and other people. So
They
that's
treat me very, very well.
that
very,
is
very
a
good.
tribute. Now, so at that point you moved down to my neck of the woods.
Uh-huh,
You
that's
moved-
right.
and-
Maple Ave.
You moved down to Maple Ave, and you've lived there until what? You sold and came here?
Yes, right,
Okay.
yeah. In fact, my son still has a house.
Oh, okay. Billy is living at the house?
Yes,
All right,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And just like my daughter,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
sister Peggy is living in Mom's house.
Good,
So
good,
it's
yeah.
nice to be able to keep it in the family.
That's right.
Keep all those memories when the kids come
We
back
built
to
it
visit.
when we were first married. We helped build it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. What did your husband do after the war?
He worked at Bay State. Oh,
okay.
yeah, good old Bay State.
Good old Bay State, as many people did.
That's
you know.
right.
It was
Employed half of Westborough.
a good career. It was a good living.
And it was a good company.
and
They
it
were
was a
very
good
good to
company.
the workers.
They were prosperous and they took care of their people.
Very,
So,
very nice.
yeah,
Very
that
good.
that is a tribute. And unfortunately, not something we see sometimes today with big
Yeah.
corporates that are
Oh.
just letting people go.
That's right. No, they were very, very good company.
So, as the family grew up, well, let's go back. What did you do after the war, during the war?
I
when you
worked
were
at
out
McGinnis's in Worcester in the store
Oh,
on the
okay.
candy counter.
Oh, I would have loved her back then. The candy
And I
counter
ate
is my favorite
candy
place.
all my life. I still eat
My
candy.
kind of girl, definitely.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That,
I love
never met a
candy.
candy bar I didn't like.
Yeah,
At
they
this
had
point.
chocolates. We could pick out the ones we wanted.
Oh, build
they
your own
were
box.
Delicious. Kemp's chocolates, very, very good.
Interesting. And how did you get to Worcester?
On
Did
the
you,
bus.
You took the
On
bus.
yeah.
Okay. And again, those were the days when public transportation actually existed
Oh, yeah, I
in
lived on
Westborough.
West Street, and the bus stopped right at the end of West Street. I was number 9, so I only had 2 houses to go.
So, very convenient. And the bus ran several times during the day?
Oh, every hour.
Yeah, every hour.
hour.
Up to Worcester and back.
Yeah.
And, as well as to Framingham or Boston,
That's
down
right,
Route
yeah.
9, and to Marlborough or to Milford. So,
People used the buses. Everybody
Well-
didn't have a car.
yeah. And of course, rationing back then.
Oh, yes.
During the war.
Yeah.
That would have been.
And I worked on the candy counter, and candy was rationed.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, boy,
yeah,
that stunk.
yeah.
So, I hope that doesn't happen again. I miss
know.
my candy. Boy, I'd rather go without gas, I think.
Oh, I love candy. I still love candy.
yeah. Well,
I
that's-
said you won't love candy after you worked on the counter, but I still love candy
So,
and eat a lot.
I think I'd like that challenge. Just how much can I handle
Yeah, right.
at this point? So, and you stopped working after you got married?
Yes.
And
yeah,
started the family?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, where are your kids living now?
Well, some are in town. Let me see. Who's in town? Bill, Eileen's in Grafton, Fran's in town, and Connie's in Boston. They were scattered around Grafton. Eileen's in Grafton, so they were
Larry's
around.
still in
and some are
Shrewsbury?
in town, yeah.
Yeah. So, very
They're
good.
not far.
And grandchildren?
I have 10 grandchildren.
10 grandchildren.
Yeah.
Nice round number, 10 little Indians.
And I had 10 children.
So, and obviously, most of them are close enough that
Yes,
you've been
they
able
are,
to
mostly.
enjoy a relationship with them. So
Very,
that,
very good.
Do you have any great-grandchildren yet?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
But some of your grandkids must be getting older.
Oh, yes,
So,
they
yeah.
are. Some of them married,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
could be grandchildren any day.
One can hope.
Yeah, right, right.
I think that's what we all hope for, at that point. But kids are marrying a little later in life. And,
Some of them, yeah.
They're delaying families because they're trying to get a leg up on a career,
Right.
both working. So it's a different world.
That's right, that's
It's a
true.
lot harder. Do you have any memories during World War II besides rationing candy and gas?
Oh, yeah,
what other-
candy
what-
was rationed and gas was rationed.
What other hardships do you remember from the war? Anything in particular?
Well, like nylons, they were rationed. You couldn't get nylons unless you went in the day when they came in the store. And I worked in McGinnis's, which was a store
Yeah.
in Worcester, and we could get them. We
There you go.
worked there.
Got in
We
line
knew when they
first.
were coming in.
So,
Yeah.
for those of you that may not remember, nylons were kind of a thin socks that the girls wore.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that they might probably still sell them, but nobody seems to wear them anymore.
Well, they do in the winter especially, yeah.
Help
'cause they're
keep you
warmer
warm.
than their legs.
I'll take your word for that. I've never worn nylons, but probably. Actually, I never liked the feel of nylon.
Some of your men's socks could even be
yeah,
nylons.
Yeah, I wear the wool ones.
Oh, they're warm, but you don't want them in the summer.
Oh, I don't know. It's still cold in Maine in the summer.
Oh, I
wear 'em
see.
year
I
round.
forget you're from Maine.
That's right. From now, I'm from away.
Okay.
So, when did you get your first car? Do you remember your first car?
Yeah, when I was working in the 40s, I'm trying to think what year it was, but I don't remember. It was a Ford or a Chevy. Chevy, I think.
Okay.
Chevy, yeah.
Little coupe. You probably paid a king's ransom for it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But back then, pretty much everybody kind of saved their money and bought the car. They didn't
That's
do
right,
a lot of bank
that's
loans
right,
for a
that's
car.
right,
You had
yeah,
to have the money
right.
in hand. And was it a good car? How long did you have it? Did it run
quite
forever?
a while, yeah, quite a while.
So,
A long time.
probably back then nobody cared about gas mileage either.
No,
And-
no.
But and you didn't have push button windows.
No, no, no.
Or a radio. Radio was invented, but I don't think they had them in cars back then. Well, maybe the expensive ones.
Yeah.
And little before my time.
Okay.
So your family grew up,
Yep.
and as they prospered and proliferated and so forth,
Right.
did you go back to work at some point? Did you?
Part-time.
Part-time.
Yeah.
Where did you go?
When my
part-time?
husband came home, he worked at Bay State, so he got home after 3. And then I could have a job like from 5 to 9 or 11,
Okay.
whenever they closed.
And where was that?
Where did I work? Let me think.
Downtown, probably.
Yeah, right, in Westborough, yeah.
Like selling drugs.
Rick sold drugs, that was one,
okay.
yeah. I
King's.
worked several different stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
At different times.
Yeah,
But again, as I've said in previous shows that we've done, that was back when everything you needed was in downtown
oh, that's
Westborough.
right. You didn't
All
have
the
to go
stores
outside
that,
to get anything.
You could walk from one place to another,
That's
and
right,
a lot of the
right.
local
All the
folks
stores, you knew all the
were
stores.
employed down there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, at that point, that who among the stores that you shopped at, what did you think was the most exciting store that you could go to in Westborough?
Well,
Was there any, the dress shop or
yeah, I went to all of them and tried them all.
sooner or later?
Yeah.
But there wasn't one particular that had the best bargains or the
No,
best deals?
no,
or,
no. Went to 'em
Which,
all.
which grocery store did you shop at?
First National,
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, even when there were the two stores, most people tended to go to one or the
Yeah.
other. The regulars, and only if you couldn't find what you needed at one, then you might go into the
Oh,
other
yeah,
store
right.
at that point. So, and considering the size of the supermarkets now,
Oh, yeah.
it was amazing how much you didn't need, because in 4 aisles they managed
Yeah.
to have everything
But we
you
still
could
got
go with.
everything we wanted.
Yeah, absolutely. That you didn't have as many choices, but you certainly had every product
Oh,
you needed.
that's right.
Meat and fish at the counter that were just as fresh
Everything,
and
yeah,
cut right
everything.
there. Yeah, that was great.
We knew a lot of the people that worked at the stores
Right.
too.
Everybody was on a first name basis.
Yeah, that's right.
And you got your groceries bagged and carried out to
Oh,
the car
that's right,
by the bag
that's
boy.
right, yeah.
I worked at the First National for a
Oh,
number
yeah.
of years
Good,
back in
good.
high school, and I was a member of the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union.
Oh, good for you, good.
They didn't let me cut any meat, but I could slice the
Good
bologna.
thing they
but
didn't want to cut your fingers off.
yeah, among other things at that point. But again, it was a fun time, and it was nice because there were some jobs for
And
the local high
everybody
school
knew
kids.
everybody.
And everybody was regulars.
Yeah.
And you'd see them
I
every
know
week.
I had cousins came to visit from New York, and we'd walk downtown, and I'd say, "Hi, Jim, how?"
Oh, yeah.
And they said, "Do you know everybody?" Because we did, really.
But you did.
Yeah.
And that was one of the joys of being part. That was the sense of community.
Yeah.
That knowing these people and being comfortable with
That's
them.
right.
Sharing
Yeah.
the
We're all
experiences
friendly.
along the way.
Yep.
So we move on into the 60s.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember where you were when Kennedy was shot?
I think I was on Maple Avenue. That's where I live now until I came here.
Yeah.
It's Maple Ave,
Yeah.
which is off of South. Some people don't know where Maple Ave. It's only 3 houses.
Right beyond Pine Grove Cemetery.
Yeah, right.
Before you get to Harvey's Garden
That's
Center.
right. That's right. Yep.
But back then it was just a farm.
Yes.
Your neighbors
yeah.
were cows on the other side of the
That's
street.
right.
At that point.
They'd come over to our yard once in a while.
Once in a
if
while,
got
they'd
lost.
come visit.
Walk on the lawn. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was frequently back in those days. The traffic jam was caused when the farmers brought their cows across the street
Oh,
back
yeah,
to the
they
barn, and
stopped
everybody
the
had to
traffic.
wait for the
Yeah,
cows to go
that's
by.
right, yeah.
That was a real traffic jam.
Yeah, right.
Real inconvenience
Didn't want to hit a cow.
at that point. So, but you continued to ice skate
Oh, yeah.
right up until your 70s?
Well, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around.
Yeah, I like to skate.
Where did you go skating?
Well, there was Blake Street when I was younger,
Yeah.
and then Ruggles Pond, on Ruggles
That's
Street.
where we all went skating.
And even the reservoir if it was good and cold, and Lake Chauncey if it was very cold. Yeah.
And it seems years ago we would be skating by this time of year.
Yeah, it was colder in those days.
And the snow didn't come in till later, so that you had
A
clear
lot of
ice.
skating,
And
yeah.
not as much rain and sleet that messed up the ice surface.
Yeah, that's right.
But I know we always, Uncle Buddy had to go out onto Ruggles Pond and jump
yeah,
up and down
see if
on it
it's safe,
to see if it
yeah,
was safe for
right.
us to go on.
And we went to Lake Chauncey because on a real cold
Mm-hmm.
spell, we could there in Solomon's Pond. You could skate anywhere when it was good and cold.
A lot of skating holes.
Yeah.
And on Chauncey, you could stand there and the wind would just about blow you across
yeah,
the lake
right,
because
yeah,
it was
very
always
windy, yeah.
blowing. It was windy.
And the reservoir.
It was tougher skating back.
Oh,
It was-
yes, right. You're against the wind.
Once you got out there at that point. Did you ever tramp down to Cedar Swamp and to go skating down there?
No, never went
That,
skating down there.
Yeah,
Could walk down there, but never skated.
yeah, we did a couple of times, and Joe Orlando was sharing
Oh,
how
really?
his family,
all went?
all went down along the tracks and skated out the
We had
tributaries.
Ruggles Pond and Blake Street and the reservoir and Lake Chauncey if it was good and cold.
Yep.
Well, that was plenty of places to
Well,
go.
plenty of
Ruggles
places to
Street,
go on
yeah.
a cold day
Yeah.
to stay out of mischief.
Yeah,
So
right,
that,
right.
What's your favorite music?
Oh, I like some of the old time songs, good songs that we knew for years and years and years. I like all songs, but popular songs.
The big band
yeah,
era,
Yeah.
the 40s.
yeah,
that,
very good songs. Yeah,
They don't make them like that anymore.
no, they don't.
And I think that I'm an aficionado of the 40s and big band sounds, and I assume that's because Mom listened to the radio when I
Oh,
was a
that's
kid.
right. We had the
growing
radio
up.
on. Yeah.
And so that I heard a lot of, kicked the slats out of my crib, listening to the big band sounds at that point.
Oh.
And but I think that music is special to me still.
It's good music.
Even though I grew up in the 50s and as rock
had
came
good songs,
in,
yeah.
and but it was a different era.
Yeah.
It was a fun era. Who is the most unusual person that you have ever met? Anybody in town particularly that strikes you as a character, a leading, figure, a church minister, somebody that strikes a chord in you?
I have to stop and think.
Well, and that's okay. Thinking's not a bad thing. Just curious. Different people you have relationships with at one time or another, and
Oh, I don't know. I knew a lot of people and a lot of good people. Very good and friendly and
Yeah.
kind, and
okay,
we got along.
man, which is a good thing to do.
Okay.
At that point,
Good,
nothing
good,
wrong
good.
with getting along.
Okay.
So, do you remember when you got television?
Yeah, I think we got it fairly early when
Oh.
you know.
The rich people, you had one early?
No, we had one TV.
Yeah,
I don't
black
know
and
what-
white. Black and white TV.
Oh,
yeah.
probably black and white, and
How,
then
how big was the screen?
probably small, and they got bigger and colored,
But,
so
yeah.
they got better.
And you had to get up out of your chair and go across the room to turn the
Oh,
chair.
yes, yeah, that's
Turn down the
right,
volume.
yeah.
That's what the kids were for.
Yeah, right.
Billy, go turn that TV down. Change that channel. So, yeah, I remember that's what Dad would call when we were in the other room. Somebody get in here and go turn that volume up. Change the channel.
Oh, boy.
He didn't want to get out of his recliner in order to do that. And he was in heaven when they finally came out with that
Oh,
clicker.
yes,
It
wonderful.
gave him
Yep.
total control. He
Yep,
didn't have to wait
yep.
for us to show up
That's right.
and do that. So that what shows do you remember watching in early TV? Again, I mean, you're looking, reading
Major
Lucy.
Bowes, he had a,
Major Bowes.
yeah, they had different people come on and
A
do
variety
whatever
show.
they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of soap operas. I watched some soap operas, not all of them, but some of them. And
As the World Turns.
yes,
Or the
As
Stomach,
the
one or
World
the other.
Turns was one of them. Yeah, there were a lot of good
Guiding
shows.
Light.
Yeah, and then a lot of famous people came on as guest
Oh, yeah.
stars. Yeah,
All right.
and it was nice to have them talk, and you got to know a little bit about them. Well, I enjoyed TV.
Yeah. Well, I think most people did find it very companionable.
Yes, right.
And
That's right.
I don't know that the content was particularly striking back then as opposed to what it is now. You've got 8,000 choices now. and
yeah,
I don't
no,
know
too
that it's
many.
I don't know that it's better or worse, but it certainly changed the world view
Oh yeah,
because
that's
it
right.
really from Little
New York
Westborough.
and Boston, and California,
They
everywhere.
were in your living
Yeah.
room and you knew what was going on. You
Yeah,
knew the
right.
differences in people and so forth. Did you, when the war ended, do you remember your feelings at the end of World
I
War II?
was so glad to have it over.
Yeah. Were there
I
any
think
particular
everybody
celebrations?
was coming home.
Yeah.
They had parades. Everybody was so happy.
Did they still have a local band in Westborough, musicians,
I think so.
adults that would have participated in the 4th of July or
Yeah,
parades
they-
like
they
that?
do, I
Community
think so.
band. That, I know they had one earlier, and I don't know exactly when that
Stop.
kind of
Yeah.
petered out,
Yeah.
if you will, at that point. What kind of meals did you used to cook for the gang?
Oh, all kinds. We had different meals every night, something
Right.
different, you know. And they ate everything. And
In large families, we usually did.
that's right. You were hungry, you ate.
You didn't wait because there'd be no leftovers.
That's right. There were never any
There
leftovers.
was never,
Right.
always came out even. So
Right.
you had to get there early and learn
The
to
boys
like
had
it.
good appetites. And the girls did pretty well,
they,
too.
they held their own.
Yes.
So, what did you like to cook? Any particular things that were favorites?
Well, things that smelled good when you were cooking them. You just
Okay.
waited to get them on the table so you could eat them. I liked all kinds of food. The only thing I don't really like is liver.
Okay.
But everything else
Boy,
I
she is a
like
girl
to-
after my own heart.
Yeah, I don't
Liver
like
is just another four-letter word as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Nothing that I would go around the block for.
Oh.
So at that point, my mother always used to like it. My father hated it, so we
Oh,
never had
yeah.
it, thank
Oh,
God.
good.
Yeah, I was not disappointed.
Well, my husband was supposed to eat liver, so we had to have it once in a while
Ah,
for him. Or I'd
okay.
give him that and we'd have something else.
Yeah, yeah. My wife has to wait until we go out to eat. She'll get liver and onions
Oh,
when we
really?
go out to eat.
No, I
sometimes.
never liked liver at
No,
all.
no. I'll eat the onions, but
I'll eat the
you
onions,
can have the
yeah.
liver part at that point. What's your favorite dessert? I mean, you like candies. Did
Oh,
you?
I like chocolate pudding or pie, apple pie.
Apple pie.
I like all kinds of dessert. Fruit
Non-denominational
cake, I used to make fruit cake all the time.
fruit. Okay, well now we've drawn the line. And I get off at fruit cake. That's
Oh, yeah, no, some of my kids didn't like it, but some of them loved it, so.
they were just doorstops as far as I was
Oh,
concerned.
no, it's delicious, delicious,
Okay.
all full of
Well,
fruit.
and perhaps the homemade stuff was better than some of
Oh,
the
yeah,
packaged
no,
stuff that
I
everybody
made
used to give you at
fruitcake.
Christmas. That the people that didn't like you gave you fruitcake.
Oh,
It's the way I always looked at it.
oh, no, I liked fruitcake, and I
at that
made
point.
fruitcake, and I gave some away, too.
There you go.
Yeah.
And, well, if you've got the gift for making it, sure.
Yeah, right.
To share
No,
it, you
it's
find
good.
those that are that little pocket of people that do like it. I mean, they sell a ton of it at Christmas, so somebody must eat it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who.
I love it.
Well,
It's good.
I'll send mine down to you when I get the next one.
Okay,
So.
anytime.
Right. So, what about strawberry shortcake?
Oh, I love strawberry
Love
shortcake,
strawberry
yes.
shortcake, yeah. No,
Kids would go pick strawberries,
Okay.
and we'd have strawberry shortcake.
And there were never enough strawberries to go around.
That's right,
And,
right.
Everybody loved
The
strawberries.
boys got jobs working, picking strawberries in season,
Yeah.
so that was good.
well,
Right in Westborough, there were several strawberry growers.
All the farms that
Yeah.
were always in need of it.
Yeah,
The
right.
picking season,
Very
you
good.
never had enough hands on at that point. Did you ever buy local milk, or did you always buy it at the store?
Faye's Dairy, we bought
Oh.
Faye's Dairy
Okay.
from the time I got married. Well, my mother and father bought it, and then I bought it when I got married.
Yep. And he delivered to your little milk box
Oh,
on the front
yes,
step?
yes,
with,
yep.
little
In the
metal-
winter, the tops would go like
Oh,
that.
freeze and pop the cardboard?
Milk would stick up in the top.
It was just like a milksicle.
Yeah, right, right.
Lap
yeah.
it off. So that, yeah, I had forgotten about that, but it was because there were just little cardboard
Yes,
stickies on
yeah,
top of the bottle.
right.
And then you'd wash the bottles and put them back out
Oh,
for them
yes,
to pick up the
that's
bottle,
right. They
recycle,
collected them.
and recycle the bottles. And
That's right,
everybody
use the
was-
same bottles.
Pardon me. Did you ever remember the rag man coming around?
I think so, yeah.
That would and I can't tell you what kind of a rag. I remember as a small kid that he would come down the street in a beat up old truck.
Oh, yeah, and
and
collect anything.
And collect anything that you had. Somehow people knew when he was coming so that they could prepare. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether he put notice in the paper or he did it a certain day of the month. But again, it's one of those memories that's just on my fringe
Right,
that
yep.
I knew something happened there at that point. Did you ever travel?
Oh, in the car, not too far, but we went to New York and Long Island and the beach. We love to go to the beach. New Hampshire and
Salisbury Beach in New Hampshire?
yes, and
Okay.
Revere
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nantasket.
I never think of Revere as having a beach, but
Oh,
I know
yes, it does. Yeah, we used
it
to
did
go
in a
there.
reputation back
Yeah.
then, before it became a reputation for unsavory characters.
Oh
That-
dear, no, we used to go there, yeah. Bring a
Beach
lunch,
was the
have a
newest,
lunch.
The oldest beach in the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
What,
that, Bill.
Revere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't know
oldest in
that
the-
either.
We went to Nantasket on
Yeah,
the
we
South
went to
Shore.
Nantasket too.
With the big amusement park. And
Yeah,
that was
yes,
always
yes.
one day every summer. Pop
Okay,
it, pack
oh,
us all
yeah.
up,
Right.
go down to Herman's, buy matching shirts, and take us all down to the beach for
Good,
our
good,
one-day vacation.
Good,
Whoopee.
good. Wonderful.
And we thought it was. We thought it was just unbelievable.
That's right, because it only happened once a year.
Once a
yeah.
year, it was special. And it always ended too soon.
Yeah, that's
At
right.
that point.
That's right.
Mom would pack up a big hamper.
Oh, yes.
All the sandwich and all the food. You had to bring all your own stuff.
Oh,
and
yes,
lug
right.
it to the
You
beach.
took that with you.
And fun times.
Yep.
Do you remember the arcade and the amusement rides at White City?
Yes, yes,
That,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Long gone, but
Yeah.
again, when we
and
were
there
kids.
was some in Revere too, on the main
Along the
road.
drag,
yeah,
the beach
right.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why we never went that way. But, I don't ever recall, to this day, I don't ever recall having gone to Revere Beach. I've been through Revere on one
Oh yeah, no, we used to go to Revere and Nantasket and New Hampshire. What's on New Hampshire?
Salisbury?
Salisbury. No,
Or,
there's another.
Oh, Hampton?
Oh, Hampton.
Hampton, the
We used to
ballroom
go
up at
there.
Hampton Beach.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
I
was
remember. The Catholic youth group used to go up there for
Oh, yeah,
a summer
yeah.
trip.
Yeah.
And that was a big time. again, the simple pleasures nowadays, if it's not a rock concert on the moon, you know,
Oh, gee.
people don't want to go there. It's too local, it's no big deal, but everything was a big deal back then.
Yeah, right.
And rightly so, it was
And
entertaining.
4th of July, we had firecrackers. We
Yeah.
loved firecrackers. We'd save our money before the 4th so
Yeah.
we could buy a lot. They sold them downtown. They had little booths where they sold firecrackers.
Yeah,
And we'd save our money so we could buy a lot.
before it became illegal. Now you'd be arrested.
Oh, yeah, and you could smell that smell from the firecrackers. I
yeah.
remember that smell. You could
Oh,
even
yeah.
smell it the next day.
Yeah. And again, those are the little things that you, just like the smell of burning leaves.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
we used to burn leaves. You can't do that now.
No, you cannot.
No, we
And
always raked the leaves
Everybody
and
loved
burnt
the
them.
fall with that smell.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's right.
now you'll go to prison. You're a criminal if you burn leaves. And
Oh,
I
dear.
don't know. I've never seen anybody that's been able to capture that smell in a spray bottle,
No,
like
no,
new car
they
smell. So if you
don't.
could spray
No,
that and
no.
enjoy the smell of burning leaves,
No,
that,
no.
it's burned into your memory bank.
Every fall, you'd smell that smell.
Yeah. I wonder what other smells? Any other smells you can think of that?
Well, we used to have cookouts. We'd have hot
Oh, okay.
dogs and
Yeah, yeah.
hamburgers out in the yard in the fireplace and cook everything out there.
Did you have one of those little brick fire
We had
grills
one.
that they were
Right.
very popular in the 50s?
Yeah.
Everybody, not
My
the little,
husband would
not
make
the
a
little tin
fire-
ones, but
fireplace,
yeah.
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 We've still got a fireplace in our yard.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Do you
still
still
there.
use it?
Not much.
Not
Yeah,
much.
Still there.
So, but again, those are the things you made your own fun.
Oh, yes.
You entertained yourselves.
Yep.
And you enjoyed life.
That's right.
It-
And all your friends invited
It
to your
was-
house to do
It
something.
was enjoyable, and
Yep.
people used to get together.
We
and
all
they
knew
liked
each
to get
other.
together. And, did you ever do any craft work or?
Not really.
Okay.
I sewed a little in sewing machine,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't do, I could do a plain knit. I'd make a scarf, just a plain scarf.
Yeah. Straight down, straight
Yeah,
back.
right, that was it.
But don't feel bad. I can't do any of them, so that I'm envious of those that can. But
Yeah.
with 10 kids, it's kind of hard to squeeze in time to have little crafty projects going all over. That,
Yeah, that's good, good.
that I know that for a fact. That at this point.
We had a sewing machine. We sewed dresses and blouses and everything.
Yeah. Well, and again, you probably had home ec in
Oh,
school.
yes, we did.
Where you learned
Miss
those
Granger,
basics.
Miss Granger.
Miss
She
Granger.
was very good, very nice. I liked her very much.
I don't remember her.
Well, she didn't teach
she-
the boys.
Well,
She
that's
was-
that may be
yeah.
one of the reasons. So that
Yeah.
we had Mr. Moran.
Oh, yeah, I
for
remember
shop.
him.
He was there for 100 years.
I remember him.
So that.
Wouldn't he yell at the kids?
Oh, all the
or
time.
Swear or
Absolutely.
anything? Yeah.
That's why we liked him. And besides all the mischief we could get into
Oh,
in
yeah.
shop,
Oh,
that
good.
all those tools that Pop would never let you touch at home. That watch this, I'm
You
working
love
this
that.
out. Oh yeah. I think I still have it up in the attic now, but the tie rack that I made in 1958.
Good, yeah.
I don't know if we ever hung any ties on it.
Yeah.
Cherished memento.
I know the boys would make the same thing.
Yeah.
Each year they'd
Yeah.
come home with the same thing they made.
That's right. Yeah. New version. Next, you throw out the old one. Here's a new one, and line them up in a row. But again, it was fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the kids will look back 50 years after they get out of school
Yeah,
and remember the
what
fun
they
things
did,
that they
yeah.
did that may not. Oh, we took that computer class. That was fun. Okay, if you say so. I'm not sure I would have enjoyed it as such. So that. But your husband died relatively young.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I should know how. Because the kids were still growing up, the youngest.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say it was early 70s.
51.
He was 51. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was what,
that's
early
right.
70s? 19?
Yeah, 71.
Yes,
I believe.
1971.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
somewhere I
Yeah.
recall at this
Yeah.
point that again, a tragedy with those young kids.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
because your family was
They all
still
missed
young.
them, of course.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because he was good with the kids. He loved to take them walking and
Yeah.
hiking and everything.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's also a credit to you to raise a large family after your husband died.
Well,
so my
you
hat
had
is
to
off
do
to
it.
you.
What were you going to
but,
do?
But you did it, and you did it well.
And the older ones were fairly old, so they helped. They all
Yeah.
helped.
Yeah, but still, you were the glue that made it work.
Okay, if you say so.
I absolutely do. I know
Okay,
because I remember
okay.
those times. And I've always admired you for that,
Oh,
and,
thank
and
you,
your
thank
ability
you.
to do that.
I tried.
And you did a wonderful job.
Well,
so
thank
that,
you, thank you, thank
and
you.
and I also have to say to the viewing audience, doesn't she look marvelous? She is absolutely beautiful for 94 years old.
I think so.
Oh, you are terrific. That you've
Thank
kept
you,
yourself in
thank
good
you,
shape.
Thank you.
and,
I love to get compliments.
that,
Don't we all?
I don't blame you. That, someday I'm going to get one.
Okay, you will. I'm sure you will.
So,
You
but
have a big family.
along with my mouth, I have a big family. so that,
Well, I have a big mouth too.
and they're tired of listening to me.
Oh,
Is your brother still alive?
my mother, no.
No, your brother.
Yes. No, Bill's
No.
saying
No,
no.
okay.
No.
Because I don't know that I ever knew him. Did he
Ed,
stay in town?
He was older than me, just a year and a
Oh, okay.
half, so he wasn't much older.
Okay. Yeah.
He went to Marlborough after he was
Oh, okay.
married.
In that old camp.
Okay.
You-
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever met him or
probably.
ran
Ed,
into him or
Ed.
anything.
My father was Ed.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he was a junior?
Yeah, Junior. He was called Junior when he was little because he wanted to get rid of that as he
Oh.
got older.
Yeah, we were talking with Jimmy and Janet Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
And it was always Big Jim
Oh,
and Little
yeah,
Jim.
no, we
Yeah.
said
No,
Junior.
And Little Jim is 65 now, and we call him Little Jim, and he hates that. So you know,
We called him
some things
Junior.
you can't outgrow.
Yeah,
no. At
That's
that
what you
point.
start out with.
But anyhow, well, I think we are running to the end of our time.
Well, it was
And
very nice to
I want
talk
to
to you.
thank you for taking the time, and I certainly have appreciated
good
your
to
taking
see
time
you.
for us.
I enjoyed talking to you too.
Terrific, Helen.